In today's session, Ariel, Saghiv, and Idan Perkal will discuss cloud capabilities and security advantages in Microsoft Defender for IoT. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to Ariel and Idan. The floor is yours.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this webinar on cloud capabilities and security advantages with Defender for IoT. This webinar is given as part of our Defender for IoT community. And if you're new to the community, welcome on board. We are happy to have you here. We are honored to be with you today and host you on this session.
Hey guys, my name is Idan. I'm the Defender for IoT Platform Product Manager, responsible in building our IoT security platform to make sure it addresses the different IoT verticals and security needs. Great to be here.
And I'm Ariel Saghiv, the product lead for OT and IoT security. And I've been working together with our customers for almost 10 years, helping cyber defenders win and organizations to secure operational technology and industrial critical systems. So who are we? What is Defender for IoT? Defender for IoT was designed by Blue Team Cyber Defenders for Blue Team Cyber Defenders to help win, to help fight the good fight. It was purposely built for the OT environments, operational business critical environments where machine-to-machine communications is abundant. The product supports all platforms and the different protocols, enabling and allowing securing systems by different suppliers such as GE, Rockwell, Schneider Electric, Emerson, and others. Of course, the product can integrate into the many different solutions within the security stack of your organization, such as the different SIEM systems and firewalls. And we've been working together with global organizations and enterprises in all 7 continents, securing these business critical systems in order to protect people, production, and profit. Network security, where can we start? What does it mean to you? Network security is tough. If you're securing one area, but you're ignoring another, you're not really securing anything. We want to be the heroes. We want to protect our organizations, fight off the adversaries, and deal with stopping the hackers. But in reality, we have to deal with the logs. We have to sift through the data. Sometimes the end users don't like what we do and we disrupt their work. But today, we're about taking on this challenge. And I invite you together to try today to give some thought, find a way forward to help the defender, to take on the defender's challenge and accomplish cybersecurity resilience for your organization, especially within the business critical OT and IoT networks. Oh, and by the end of the presentation, maybe learn something from nature, learn from the birds how to intimidate adversaries. Today, we are in the era of flux and transformation. We can call it the new normal, supply chain shortages, the abundance of remote work. The attackers are evolving. The ecosystem is evolving and changing. Attackers have more systems to access. They traverse laterally within organizations, overcoming the different electronic and security perimeters. Security tools at our disposals have been growing. There are more and more mission-specific and specialized security tools, but at the end of the day, for the defender, the tier 1, 2, or 3 operator at the SOC, that just means more screens, more systems, and more new systems to learn, and more systems to protect and to secure. Integrations are not always top-notch, and it's a challenge just keeping the systems talking to one another. And at the end of the day, the music of the many different systems, each with its own secret sauce and magic abilities, the music can become noise being overwhelmed with alerts, with the different, with all the information, all the data coming in, and just being able to find the signal from the noise and find what really needs to be mitigated, what needs to be taken care of. So maybe we can look back at history and try to, or the recent history, and try to learn what can make our organizations more resilient. If we look back at recent attacks, especially on organizations from using the different industrial critical systems, we see that typically it was the simple stuff, the VPN credentials, the weak credentials. So what can we learn? If we go and patch all the VPNs, change all the credentials in the organization, even in the disconnected systems, will that create a resilient organization? Maybe not. The firewall is not stopping the phishing, it's not stopping the 0 days, and it's not stopping port 443. So maybe adapting some kind of certification or regulation, will that make us cyber resilient? Will that enable our organization to move forward when such a shock or a stress, an event, a crisis event occurs? The regulation is not enough. The organization, to create a cyber resilient or resilient organization, we want an organization that can not only survive such an event, such a shocking event, but build on it and grow stronger. How can security become a competitive advantage and not a tax? And of course, not reach the state of collapse or of crisis in the organization. So if we want to try to find this recipe for building resilience, what would it be? And we can call on the theory of complex adaptive systems. Don't trust me, you can look it up online. And the ingredients, the different ingredients that we can mix into creating this resilience, focus on 3 areas. First of all, the organization, the networks and the relationships. Breaking down the silos between IT and OT, between the different system owners, between the defenders, the different defender teams. Leveraging the knowledge of one another, creating effective partnership and communication between the different groups, especially in global enterprises and organizations. The SOC may be in one culture and demography and geography, and the factory that it's securing in a totally different time zone. Leadership and culture. Leadership needs to take its place, of course. It needs to have the correct information, the situation awareness in order to create or to arrive at effective decision making. And the culture should be able to nourish innovation and creativity, especially at times of crisis. Building organizations which are resilient means the ability to survive a crisis and thrive in a world of uncertainty. And the organization needs to be change ready. It needs to be agile. It needs to have the right strategies, training, workbooks and playbooks, and everyone needs to have the same unity of purpose. Easy, you must say. Culture eats strategy for breakfast, but together with Microsoft, and that's part of the cloud. It's not a goal. It's a tool. It's a platform. Together, we can accomplish this resilience and empower the teams of defenders. The cloud allows Microsoft, together with our users and customers, to allow faster development cycles, faster deployment of updates, centralized visibility to trends, to allow this control to global organization, and allow Microsoft to deduce and research the global trends and threat activities in order to create the most up-to-date TI, which of course, in order to create this, we need the tools. We need the tools to manage these massive amounts of data, machine learning, AI, and the many different resources available. And at the end of the day, it's how to do more with less and reach efficient security that can reach the organization, the end users, and provide security in time, because otherwise we cannot keep up. Just as an example, the Microsoft security research organization, more than 3,500 security researchers, more than any other vendor in the security space, the only cloud provider that is also a security vendor. And don't take my word for it, you can check out the Microsoft Digital Defense Report, the yearly report with the different insights from our security teams on the many different signals and trends and insights at the end of the day that we find out and push directly into the product. On the top right here, you can see an example. These threat intelligence packages, the information is being pushed to all the Microsoft products, the same threat intelligence information, most up to date from our work in incident response with the DART teams, with governments, with information within the cloud, within Azure, with Microsoft Mystique, Microsoft Threat Intelligence Center, and also together with Defender for IoT's own OT and IoT focused research group, Section 52. The cloud means not only an abundance of data, but it also means a platform for allowing to make decisions quickly with in an agile fashion to create resilience. The cloud means that information can be synchronized between the different tools quickly with a click of a button. This ability allows for agility, it allows for creativity to emerge, for emergence of new ideas and new tools. And it allows our users and our customers to choose and tailor the suit that's suitable for you in order to protect your business critical and business supporting networks, with information flowing and integrated natively between the different tools. So, okay, all these wonderful ideas about resilience, but how can we take it into our backyard, into OT security, and making OT security, building resilient OT security for our organizations? And of course, the defender is always at the disadvantage. The defender locks the door. Maybe we even put in a heavier door, but still the adversaries see the windows, they see the chimney, they see the roof. And in OT, this challenge is translated into the many legacy systems that have been working for the last 20 and 30 years with the old IT equipment that's managing them, the shortage of staff, of security experts, and I'm sure if I'd ask you, how long does it take you to hire the next security expert into your OT SOC, into your security organization? The answer would not be immediately. The massive scale of devices, digital transformation, the different processes, more and more processes are becoming automated and being networked. Industry 4.0 coming into the factory floor, the manufacturing vertical. The systems are growing in complexity. The attackers are growing in complexity. And at the end of the day, this is business risk. It means downtime, loss, or safety issues, incidents, and corporate liability. The cloud, the environment is not standing still. The cloud allows also for our adversaries to use these wonderful integrations and capabilities and abundance of data on the internet. Attackers are for hire, pretty cheap, as you can see. Ransomware kit, the malware, the devices that you can use to create your attack. Spear phishing as a service, of course, and the different credentials and other denial of services as a service. So the environment is definitely using these platforms in order to increase its capabilities and its impact. And we see the emergence of new business models. Business models where the different threat actors are working together, sometimes in parallel, not even aware of one another, or using the same malware as a services in order to attack sometimes the same targets. And this is backed by data. The revenue and profit, the ransomware business is pretty profitable. The budgets of these teams rival the budgets of nation-state attack groups. And as a single organization, working alone, impossible to keep up with the developments. And if we want to help defenders effectively, providing the tools that will allow to deal with tomorrow's challenges and the day after tomorrow, we identify the three following trends. One is quantity, the number of business lines, the different systems, the life support systems, the building management systems, everything is becoming automated and networked. There is a higher number of devices per security analyst at the end of the day. The business impact is growing. These systems reach more and more out of the cyber domain and into the cyber physical, affecting our physical world, controlling ovens, controlling processes. The breakdown of automation today causes immediate downtime and loss of profit to organizations. And of course, the ability to triage, perform incident response with all this information. And how can the defender perform, reach or be able to prioritize and understand the impact of an incident? And of course, the more devices, the more incidents. Idan, over to you.
So Ariel described well the complex and dynamic reality we are all facing and the major security challenges we need to deal with. I want to tell you a little bit about what we are doing here in Defender for IoT that will help you to improve your organizational resiliency using Defender for IoT platform. When we work together with our large enterprise customers, we provide end-to-end solutions to protect and monitor the devices in your network and their activity, and more broadly, the production systems activity. We are protecting the controllers and management systems that control the downstream devices and the historians that collects information and are high value and soft target to attackers. And protecting the services, the processes and business procedures those IoT devices and controllers are responsible for. Be it monitoring medicine manufacturing or the train movement information in the train network. That's our mission. So how are we approaching this really huge problem? And we are starting by understanding that we are talking here on super sensitive business processes and that every downtime can cause to a big financial damage. And we build our solution to make sure no changes in the factory flow are required and no performance or reliability impact is done, as our solution passively listens to the network. The deployment itself is super straightforward and you are able to get value from the product right away. Immediately, our solution starts to learn how your system works and behaves by discovering what devices are connected to the system. You can right away see your environment's the environment's behavior and actually explore a visual network map to see those devices in the actual network. Based on this data, we can tell you what devices are vulnerable and create an actionable reports to allow you to go and fix those gaps. We continue to do so by ongoing monitoring and notify you on malicious activity that involves deviation from the steady state of the system we have learned. And in the end, we allow you to have this unified view, OT, IT, and all other networks, and breaking down the silos between the different stakeholders in your organization. We understand that to protect the business critical areas of your organization, we need to take an holistic approach, starting from the critical network and up to the enterprise corporate environments for all the different types of devices in the network, and creating a unified view of the organizational networks to help you conduct the security operations. To do so, we are incorporating different types of technologies, from the agentless solution to the micro-agent that we are providing that was built to secure the most restricted types of IoT devices. To enrich it, you can actually connect additional third-party inputs to create single source of truth to help you answer a lot of questions. For example, which devices are connected to my network? What risk are they imposing on my system? Are they behaving as expected? And the last pillar, which is driven from the broad Microsoft ecosystem and the cloud, is that we are bringing all those tools you are already using in the organization and creating synergies between them. Today, your team and people doesn't want to learn new tools. They are busy enough and already maintain so much knowledge. So we are bringing the OT and combines it into the existing applications and workflows in the ecosystem. It can be Defender for Cloud to help you get a cloud level security posture, or Microsoft Sentinel to help you investigate incidents spanning across the networks, IT to OT, and use unified procedures for all types of scenarios. And there is much more. Until now, we discussed on the business critical networks, but we need to understand that in your environment, there are much more device types and networks that are connected to them. Defender for IoT is covering all types of devices in the organization to provide holistic security and to make sure that when a potential incident is happening, you know about it immediately. No matter if it's originated from the smart camera in your corporate network or directly from a sensitive environment. We can do so by the amazing umbrella of Microsoft proprietary threat intelligence engine that covers all those insights. And that's how it looks like in our system. This is the unified, globally available inventory view that covers all those different types of devices and create a single pane of glass to all the assets in your organization, no matter from which source the information arrived from. Using this capability, you are now able to turn on the light on your environment and actually see and monitor every device in your network. Using our system, you can slice and dice this data based on the insights you're looking for. You can focus on a specific geographical site or production line, or drill down into specific device in case more deep dive investigation is needed. And how it looks like when there is a change in the network. So we have the production line, and the SecOps guy that just arrived to your team doesn't have a lot of knowledge. Imagine that in the middle of the night, an unauthorized device that shouldn't be connected to the network was detected by the system. Our solution indicates on such scenarios and presents the full context around it. With what other devices it communicated with? What was its activities? We will provide all the relevant information to allow him to define an actionable next steps, create some automation in case this is a common scenario, or to bridge the gap and allow an easy communication with the relevant engineer in the plant for additional investigation, or to trace the device and disconnect it from the network if needed. And we provide you the flexibility to empower every stakeholder in the organization to create their own custom reports and dashboards to focus on the parts that are the most relevant to them. For example, the OT engineer can gain insights into the different vendors and devices in their site. The CISO can see the high-level security status for the whole organization, or to drill down into a specific site. The risk manager can see the posture status and the health of the different sensors in the organization and make sure that the threat intelligence is up to date across all the sensor fleet. And those are just examples. Everyone can take our custom dashboard capability and extend it to their own specific use cases and needs. And we are providing the same kind of flexibility in the deployment types as well. You can choose the right approach to your organization based on your needs and industry, whether it's energy, oil and gas, transportation, manufacturing, pharma, or others. The sensors, which are the brain of our solution, are 100% on-premise. And the choice is yours. You can manage the solution end-to-end on-premise. It can be due to regulations or privacy or additional reasons. Or if you're able to do so, you can choose to connect them to the cloud to benefit from the unique values it introduces. And it's important for me to emphasize that Azure is built by in-depth design and provides multi-layered security across physical data centers, infrastructure, and operations. We adhere to Microsoft's most rigorous privacy and security requirements. And we understand we are securing super sensitive networks. And so we are making sure that the cloud connectivity is putting the highest security bar possible. Any data that is sent and stored in the cloud is encrypted in transit and at rest, and the sensor is the only initiator of the communication, which means that you only need to set outbound rules in your on-prem firewall. There are many possibilities to connect to the Azure cloud, and we are providing you out-of-the-box recipes to fit to your specific network requirement and to make sure the setup procedure will be as straightforward and easy as possible. And you can see here some examples on your options. And here you can see how you can manage this global distributed system from a central place. This screenshot is taken from the Defender for IoT Azure Cloud Portal. You can easily represent the organizational hierarchy to allow intuitive management and add business context to the security insights we are bringing to you. You can understand at a glance what is the status of your sensors and understand if all your environments are monitored. We are taking advantage of the cloud to continuously learn and improve the sensor brain by updating it continuously with the latest insights to make sure the security coverage is always extending and that we are keeping your environment protected from the latest threats we and our security researchers are seeing out in the wild. This is adaptability in action. And this brings me to the unified IT-OT. We talked a lot about bridging the gap between the OT and the IT. And the holy grail of this theme is to allow you and your organization to be able to deal with security incidents end-to-end, no matter whether are OT and IT, and to empower the SecOps to deal with numerous challenges he is already facing today, like lack of OT knowledge, gaps in communication between different stakeholders in the organizations, which can be caused by different cultural differences or expertise. And we want to combine all of those, the people, the training and procedures and technology, to drive the unified context and governance to the SOC, to allow them to efficiently investigate and resolve security incidents. So let's bring up the same unauthorized device incident we covered earlier. And I want to ask you, what are the actions you are taking in such cases? What are your procedures you are taking? How are you making sure this process is effective? Think about it. We're all imagining a synergetic flow where there are no silos, and the SecOps talk with the OT engineer that immediately reach out to the incident response team, and in no time, the case is already closed. to get to there, first of all, we need to have the monitoring, and we need to bring up all the inputs from the different sources and to be able to correlate this data into the SIEM. And that all the relevant stakeholders in the organization would participate in this process. The COO, CIO, CISO, all of those need to collaborate. We need to think on how the incident response is actually happening. And what are we doing to contain the incident from within and externally? So I guess you understand, this is far from trivial. But the cloud and the tight integrations we are providing can help you bring all those together in a click of a button. Although we are supporting all types of SIEM systems, we have a deep integration with Microsoft Sentinel, which is Microsoft's first-party SIEM system. Both products are created by the same R&D teams, which create unparalleled synergies. In this example, you can see here, which was taken from Microsoft Sentinel, we are showing the mapping of alerts in the organization to the MITRE ATT&CK framework for ICS that allows the organization to understand the status of the incidents in the network and in what areas there is a need to focus the security efforts. More than that, it creates a common ground on which the different stakeholders can operate a joint language and communicate effectively. And this is just a small example for the possibilities that are available when combining the two products. We are taking it even further. Recently, Microsoft acquired RiskIQ, the experts in external risk exposure. And we are leveraging their technology to extend our vision. We want to connect the incidents and activities in the public network and to correlate them with the activities in your sensitive internal networks to provide you the largest context possible. And the cloud all of us are operating in allows us to achieve just that, detect and alert on malicious activity as early as possible, and build our resiliency to adapt to potential threats even before they will enter to our networks.
Thank you, Idan. We know that the road to success is always under construction. Digital transformation is not stopping. More and more devices and systems are expanding and joining the attack surface. More and more processes are becoming automated. Our adversaries are continuing to be motivated, sophisticated, effective, and destructive and collaborative as well. And the SOC, the defenders, we already talked about it, but there are never enough staff. The staff needs more and more expertise, needs more and more ability to work with all different systems and more visibility into the OT risks, into the OT systems, and to work together and communicate with the counterparts responsible, the responsible counterparts in the engineering teams and OT engineering teams in the plants, in the production lines. So it's not only about the technology, it's also about the people. And Microsoft is not only a technology provider, and together with our partners, with our experts, with the DART teams, the security research teams, the product groups, the different communities, MISA, the Microsoft Security Association, together with your organization, with our customers, we become something more than single organizations. These individual birds, when they flock together, they become something else, a new entity, something larger that scares off their adversaries. So we are not individual organizations, but when we join together and work together and collaborate using the different technological capabilities, the different clouds and communication systems allow us, we can get closer to the cyber resilience. We can work together with a much stronger skeleton, with stronger and more flexible muscles in order to solve the problems, to take security initiative, to overcome the technical challenges and provide it and create agility, find agility, increase the cyber capacity of your organization and increase the information required for effective decision making. So what have we learned today? First of all, Microsoft is committed to providing optimal security solutions for OT and IoT business critical environments, business supporting environments. With our global cloud footprint, the trillions of signals, the security teams and researchers, the engineering teams, Microsoft is uniquely positioned to provide the most comprehensive security solutions to protect your enterprise. And lastly, that the security community is happy to have you on board. We welcome the direct access to our teams and invite you to use this platform to work together. If you want to learn more about Defender for IoT, you can take a photo of the screen or screenshot it. It will also be available within the presentation that will be shared later. You can read about how to better implement Zero Trust. Try out the product demos, get information on the product page, on the different product pages, and also read some of our case studies of how we've helped some large and small organizations. And I'd like to thank you for being with us today and invite you to join our private community program if you are not there yet. Sudan, anything else?
Hello, everyone. If you can go back to the slides. Thanks so much for joining our call today. I would like to introduce myself really quick. My name is Idan, and I am a program manager for Cloud Security Private Community. So I'm very excited to be here and hear all the content of our presentation. So I know many of you have chosen to join this call because you would like to learn something new about Defender for IoT, and we have a great news for you. I would like to formally introduce you to our Microsoft Defender for IoT Private Community. This is an NDA community. Once you are part of the community, you will be able to gain access to our exclusive NDA content for Defender for IoT. Be the first one to participate in our private previews and essentially earn digital badges and free swags based on your contribution. In the past, we've had numerous customers who have demonstrated industry expertise in our community and serve as the voice of our new feature. If this sounds really exciting to you, please register today at aka.ms/security-prp, or you can scan to this QR code to join our community. And please feel free to type your questions in the chat window if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudan. Let's see. I just wanted to see if we had any additional questions coming through. And Ariel, let's see. It looks like we do have one more question. Is there plans to have Defender for IoT licenses in the E5 license SKU?
It's Idan. That's definitely something we are evaluating. Once there will be any progress around these areas, we, of course, would update the community.
Okay. Thank you for answering that last question. So thank you, Ariel and Idan, for being our guests today and for an excellent presentation. And thank you to the rest of the team who helped answer questions. At the same time, I would like to remind the listeners that the best way to ensure you don't miss any future webinars or major announcements is to visit our landing page at aka.ms/security community. And while there, you'll find easy ways to navigate and find the resources and learning content relevant to our security products and their communities. A good start would be browsing our bite-sized product videos, ninja trainings, recordings of past webinars, GitHub communities, and more. We'd love to hear your feedback on how we can improve these webinars. Please take a minute submitting your feedback at aka.ms/security webinar feedback. Thank you and see you next time. Goodbye.